the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd, and they're all set as they'll match up with the Atlanta Falcons. Toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. First down, Bolden. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Off play action. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Sam Hubbard in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. An early 2nd and long they're facing. Off the play fake. Bolden. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. Oh, what a move. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. It's a big play there for Atlanta.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He leaves this one for Howard. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Operating from the gun, Bolden. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
As I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Bolden flushed out right. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And he's got room. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
26, 18.
Mixon with a first down carry. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Now a play fake. Rodgers going deep here for Landry.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing now is Rodgers. Trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that, he said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football. That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Falcons are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. On play action, Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. 2nd down and 8. He finds his man, complete. It's Brewer. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 31-yard line. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Over here.
Here's a give to Mixon. And room there to work it inside the 25. 58 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. A handoff to Mixon, and he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Now Joe Mixon breaks through the contact, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Bengals have got it back to a 1-score game. Well, solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
On 1st and 10, Bolden. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Falcons.
In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run here with Mixon. He can't get him down. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3.
Mixon with it. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
That's taken in by Higgins.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down.
They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted.
Picked off at the 36. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field? That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out
exactly.
there. Right? But the 9 picks
9 picks, you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Bolden. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now Mixon. Fights through and now a crease. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. 101 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And some room to maneuver. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A big play there for Cincinnati.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Here comes Rodgers now as he'll go for the two-point conversion. They'll let Mixon try and run it in. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the two-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they've got just under 50 seconds, so time it up to try to work their way downfield if they so choose.
Throw left side complete. That's Howard. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Off play action. Bolden. Escaping the pressure right. Into the secondary past the 40. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Throwing on first down. Bolden. That's caught left side to tight end Pitts. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Bolden. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six from Bengals TD.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. It just never was.
And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick six, and then the two-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they will not really have time to do much of anything. 15 seconds, all that remains before halftime. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
But Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. He finds his man, complete. It's Brewer. And he is going to have a Bengals first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mixon.
And he's got a Bengals first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now they run with Mixon. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
158 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Here's a quick throw to Higgins out wide.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Falcons' 36-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And down inside the 15 he goes. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
On 1st down, Mixon. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On play action, it's Rodgers. Flush to his right, and he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Mixon.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Watch 18. 18's the mic.
Mixon again.
Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. Mixon trying to punch it in. And this time he is in.
Joe Mixon
with touchdown number 20 on the year.
And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost. So.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to a stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Bolden.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Kyle Pitts.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Falcons are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter.
Here come the Falcons now as they will again line up and go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. They'll roll him out right. And he'll get into the end zone, and those 2 points are going to tie the game. So the signal caller doing it himself there on the 2-point try.
You got to like that. We always talk about the ball staying in the hands of the best players, but most of the time you want to get it to a back, pitch it to a wide receiver. In this case, the quarterback did it himself.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They fake the give. Now Rodgers to Mixon on the check down. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Running left, it's Mixon. Oh, fighting off the defender. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
198 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. Uses the stiff arm. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
Joe Mixon,
his 21st touchdown of the season.
And the Bengals answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And they will take a 7-point lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
First down.
They'll run on first down. Howard. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead to more issues.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
Looking to throw on second down. Bolden forced out to his left.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Ray certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Off the play fake. Bolden. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back.
Breaks a tackle. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
On 2nd down now. Mixon, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. On the sneak, Rodgers. And he is going to have a Bengals first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. A handoff, running left, Mixon. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory.
Tackle by the corner, C.J. Henderson.
They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Mixon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Mixon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive, and we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So all eyes now locked on Evan McPherson. They'll spot it at the 40. It's a 50-yard kick for the win. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Mixon, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. They'll try the left side. Mixon, and he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense. Especially play a little field position here, but you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. First throw of overtime for Rodgers. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. On 1st down. It's Howard, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And any yardage game there is really kind of gravy, and this just becomes what my old coach used to say, get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8.
They go with Howard again. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Younghoe Koo, all eyes fixated on the kicker.
This to win it in overtime. To throw on 3rd down. Bolden.
Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
On 1st and goal, Howard. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Brandon, I'd go ahead and kick it right now. I know it's only 2nd down, but I kick it and give myself a little margin for error here.
Don't wait for 3rd. Have the extra down just in case.
If something goes wrong, messed up snap, anything like that, you fall on it, guess what? It's 3rd down. You still have the ball. You still have a chance to kick it.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. to lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line.
Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on third down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on third down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.